My topic is pricing in detail explained, and let's go to the topic and let's go to the start. Pricing can also be defined as the value customers sacrifice to benefit from receiving and using a good or service. Price is, therefore, the element of the marketing mix that leads to revenues, unlike the other elements which incur costs. Pricing is also important as a strategic tool as it creates customer value. To understand pricing strategies, we first need to look at the definition of pricing. Price is the amount of money expected and given in exchange for a good or service. Pricing can also be defined as the value customers sacrifice to benefit from receiving and using a good or service. Price is, therefore, the element of the marketing mix that leads to revenues, unlike the other elements which incur costs. Pricing is also important as a strategic tool as it creates customer value. A pricing strategy is a model or method used to establish the best price for a product or service. It helps you choose prices to maximize profits and shareholder value while considering consumer and market demand. Too many businesses set their pricing without putting much thought into it. This is a mistake, causing them to leave money on the table from the beginning. The good news is that taking the time to get your product pricing right can act as a powerful growth lever. If you optimize your pricing strategy so that more people are paying a higher amount, you'll end up with significantly more revenue than a business who treats pricing more passively. This sounds obvious, but it's rare for businesses to put much effort into finding the best pricing strategy. Pricing is defined as the amount of money that you charge for your products, but understanding it requires much more than that simple definition. Baked into your pricing are indicators to your potential customers about how much you value your brand, product, and customers. It's one of the first things that can push a customer towards, or away from, buying your product. As such, it should be calculated with certainty. Pricing is the method of determining the value a producer will get in the exchange of goods and services. Simply, pricing method is used to set the price of producers' offerings relevant to both the producer and the customer. Nature of the product/service. The price of similar product/service in the market. Target audience, i.e. for whom the product is manufactured, high, medium or lower class. The cost of production, viz. labor cost, raw material cost, machinery cost, inventory cost, transit cost, etc. External factors such as economy, government policies, legal issues, etc. Price is the amount we used to pay to get something, either a good, service, or idea. Pricing is the means to set the value, price, of the product or service. The price set in the pricing process is what one buyer should pay while seeking to use such a product or service. Price is a value that will purchase a finite quantity, weight, or other measures of goods or services. Price is the second most important component of the marketing mix that the marketing manager must consider while preparing a marketing program. Price is the prime factor in generating the return on capital invested in a business enterprise. Therefore, pricing is regarded as a backbone, on which the success of a business enterprise mainly depends. In economic terms, price is the quantity of money or commodity, barter economy, which must be exchanged for one unit of a good or service. Price is generally paid in terms of money, while in a barter economy, price is paid in terms of commodity. For example, the price of one cow may be 20 sacks of maize or 10 goats. In marketing terms, price is considered as the exchange value that may take place between two parties in a particular transaction. In simple terms, price is the value or amount of money sacrificed for service. In other words, price is the total amount of money exchanged for an article or service that is being purchased. As already mentioned, pricing is the setting up a price for the product or service by which price a marketer wants to sell his product or service. It is also called product pricing. It involves determining some object that can be used to establish the value of the exchange to all parties involved in the transaction. For marketers, pricing their offerings is a compulsory task. They should have to price their offerings to make sales fairly and earn some returns. For the marketers, determining the value of the product are a very difficult task. As such, it requires market knowledge, a great deal of experience, huge efforts, and strategies. However, while pricing the product, the marketer should not only focus on the firm's profits, but rather at the same time, he should satisfy the customers, and compete with the prices offered by the competitors. These days pricing has become a very complicated job since varieties of products' prices are there and huge competition in the market. Pricing is a problem when a company develops a new product and must set a price for the first time. It is a problem when circumstances such as inflation, shortages, or excess inventories lead a firm to consider initiating a price change. It is a problem when a company produces several products that have interrelated demands or costs, and it is a problem when competition initiates price change. Cost of production: companies need to earn a profit margin that covers the cost of producing the product or service. Market demand: if the product or service is in high demand, the price can be increased to maximize profits. Competition: if there are many companies offering similar products or services, the pricing strategy may involve discounting or offering promotions to remain competitive. Target audience: different customer segments may have different price sensitivities, and companies may adjust pricing strategies to appeal to specific demographics. Ultimately, businesses need to find a pricing strategy that balances their revenue goals with the needs and expectations of their customers. It is important for businesses to conduct research and analysis to determine the best pricing strategy for their product or service. They may also experiment with different pricing models over time to see what works best. The idea behind customer value-based pricing is to price a product based on the value it brings to customers rather than the cost of producing it. Thus, the pricing decision starts by examining customer value, how much the product is worth to customers. The steps of value-based pricing are as follows. Understand customer value perception and needs. Set target price to match perceived value. Analyze costs. Create a product that matches the target value at the target price. Within value-based pricing, there are two further pricing approaches. The second main pricing strategy is cost-based pricing. Cost-based pricing involves setting prices based on the costs incurred by producing and marketing the product. This pricing method sets a floor price, a minimum price a company should charge to recover costs. Three types of costs considered for this approach are: fixed costs, overhead; variable costs; total costs. One common cost-based pricing method is cost-plus pricing. The final primary pricing strategy is competition-based pricing. Competition-based pricing involves setting prices based on competitors' pricing strategies, competitors' market offering, customers' value perception of competitors' offerings, competitors' current pricing strategies, how strong/weak competitors are, whether there is a niche/underserved market. Maximizing profits: the goal of any business is to make a profit, and pricing is one of the most important factors that can affect profitability. A good pricing strategy can help businesses maximize their profits and revenue. Competitive advantage: pricing also plays a key role in determining a business's competitive advantage. A business with a well-thought-out pricing strategy can outmaneuver its competitors by offering better prices, discounts, or value-added services. Customer attraction and retention: the right pricing strategy can also help businesses attract more customers and retain existing ones. Offering a good value proposition at a reasonable price can convert prospects into customers and keep them coming back. Brand image and perception: pricing can also influence a business's brand image and perception. High prices can make a brand appear exclusive and premium, while low prices can make it seem more affordable and accessible. Overall, pricing is a crucial element of a business's marketing mix, and careful research, analysis, and experimentation can help businesses find the pricing strategy that works best for their product or service. Many companies focus on acquisition to grow their business, but studies have shown that small variations in pricing can raise or lower revenue by 20 to 50%. Despite that, even among Fortune 500 companies, fewer than 5% have functions dedicated to setting the best price possible. There's a missed opportunity in the business world to see immediate growth for relatively little effort. Because most businesses spend less than 10 hours per year thinking about pricing, there's a lot of untapped growth potential in optimizing what you charge. In fact, choosing the best pricing method is a more powerful growth lever than customer acquisition. In some cases, it can be up to 7.5 times more powerful than acquisition. Portrays value. The word cheap has two meanings. It can mean a lower price, but it can also mean poorly made. There's a reason people associate cheaply priced products with cheaply made ones. Built into the higher price of a product is the assumption that it's of higher value. Convinces customers to buy. A high price may convey value, but if that price is more than a potential customer is willing to pay, it won't matter. A low price will seem cheap and get your product passed over. The ideal price is one that convinces people to products that your competitors have to offer. Gives your customers confidence in your product. If higher-priced products portray value and exclusivity, then the opposite follows as well. Prices that are too low will make it seem as though your product isn't well made. A weak pricing strategy doesn't accurately portray the value of your product. If you believe you have a winning product, and you should if you are selling it, then you need to convince customers of that. Setting prices too low sends the opposite message. Makes customers feel uncertain about buying. Just as the right price is one that customers will pull the trigger on quickly, a price that's too high or too low will cause hesitation. Targets the wrong customers. Some customers prefer value, and some prefer luxury. You have to price your product to match the type of customer it is targeted towards. Survival. The foremost pricing objective of any firm is to set the price that is optimum and help the product or service to survive in the market. Each firm faces the danger of getting ruled out from the market because of the intense competition, a mature market or change in customers' tastes and preferences, etc. Thus, a firm must set the price covering the fixed and variable cost incurred without adding any profit margin to it. The survival should be the short-term objective. Once the firm gets a hold in the market, it must strive for the additional profits. The new firms entering into the market adopts this type of pricing objective. Maximizing the current profits. Many firms try to maximize their current profits by estimating the demand and supply of goods and services in the market. Pricing is done in line with the product's demand in the customers and the substitutes available to fulfill that demand. Higher the demand, higher will be the price charged. Seasonal supply and demand of goods and services are the best examples that can be quoted here. Capturing huge market share. Many firms charge low prices for their offerings to capture greater market share. The reason for keeping the price low is to have an increased sales resulting from the economies of scale. Higher sales volume lead to lower production cost and increased profits in the long run. This strategy of keeping the price low is also known as market penetration pricing. This pricing method is generally used when competition is intense and customers are price sensitive. FMCG industry is the best example to supplement this. Market skimming. Market skimming means charging a high price for the product and services offered by the firms which are innovative, and uses modern technology. The prices are comparatively kept high due to the high cost of production incurred because of modern technology. Mobile phones, electronic gadgets are the best examples of skimming pricing that are launched at a very high cost and gets cheaper with the span of time. Product quality leadership. Many firms keep the price of their goods and services in accordance with the quality perceived by the customers. Generally, the luxury goods create their high quality, taste, and status image in the minds of customers for which they are willing to pay high prices. Luxury cars such as BMW, Mercedes, Jaguar, etc. create the high quality with high status image among the customers. Thus, every firm operates with the ultimate objective of earning profits and, therefore, the price of a product must be set keeping in mind the cost incurred in its production along with the benefits it offers for which people are ready to pay extra. Flexibility and adaptability. Pricing strategy should not be set in stone, as market conditions change constantly. A business should be able to adapt to changing market situations quickly and implement appropriate pricing strategy changes. Product positioning. Pricing can help determine how a product is positioned in the market. For example, a luxury product priced high will be perceived differently than a similar product priced inexpensively. Strategic goals. A pricing strategy can help a business achieve its strategic goals. A business might lower prices to gain market share, or increase prices to reinforce its brand prestige. Profit margins. Pricing strategy can be used to manage profit margins. Businesses can increase the prices of their high-margin products to boost overall profits, while lowering the prices of low-margin products can help stimulate sales. Forecasting. A pricing strategy can also be useful in forecasting sales volume, revenue, and profit. With a good pricing strategy in place, businesses can better predict their financial future and plan accordingly. In summary, pricing strategy is a critical aspect of marketing and overall business strategy. It requires careful analysis, research, and planning to ensure optimal results. In the profit-oriented objectives, the main goal of the business firm is to generate more profits and ignores others' objectives. It includes the achieving target return, in which the firm targets some percentage of profits on the price of products. The firm adds desired profit percentage to produced costs of the products, and maximizing profit, too. Here the firm aims at maximizing its profits as far as possible. For this objective, the firm can maximize its profits on every single item marketed and on total sales. Sales-oriented objectives. Especially the larger firms consider sales-oriented objectives by making aim to increase the volume of sales, though they ignore to some extent the profit of the firm but believe the increased volumes of products sales ultimately increase the profits. By this objective, the firm can increase its sales volume and market share. Status quo objectives. Firms adopting the status quo objective of pricing follow the slogan "Don't rock the boat." The firm acts some aggressively and some conservatively. The goal is not to earn more profit nor to lose more. This objective is related to price stabilization and meeting competition. Importance of pricing. Determining the price for the product is an integral part of the company's marketing program. As the competition going on rapidly, the importance of pricing is also. The importance of pricing can be seen in three viewpoints: as an economy, firm, and customers, also mentioned below. It enables the proper allocation of goods and services. Regulates the factors of production. Promotes consumer savings. It is a source of income to the firm. Acts as the determinant of the market demand. It is a source of revenue. Acts as a competitive tool. Helps to gain position in the market. While pricing the product or service, the marketers are influenced by various internal and external factors. The internal price factors are to some extent controllable, whereas external price factors are not. Internal and external factors that affect the determination of the price for the products. Internal price factors. Pricing objectives. Level of organizational involvement. Marketing mix program. Product differentiation. Production cost. External price factors. Demand for the product or service. Competitive situation. Suppliers' characteristics. Distribution system. Economic system. Government control. Once the factors affecting price are identified, the next task of the marketer is to set the price for the products. To set product price, one could apply the three most popular pricing strategies/approaches: cost, demand, and competition. The first pricing strategy a marketer could use is cost-based. This pricing strategy is generally based on the cost of the product's production. It assumes the price of the product should at least cover the cost incurred in the production of products. In this strategy, one could adopt the markup, target return, and break-even method pricing. In this strategy, the product's price is determined on the basis of consumers' perceptions and demands instead of the cost of the production. Thus, it is also called a market-based strategy. Under this strategy, one can determine the price by three strategies: perceived value, value-based, and demand differential pricing. Under this approach, generally business firm determines the product's price by considering the competitors' offering prices. Under this, a firm can adopt a going rate and sealed bid pricing strategy. A business must consider factors such as competition, consumer behavior, market trends, and production costs, among others, when determining the optimal pricing strategy. By choosing an appropriate pricing strategy, businesses can achieve their strategic goals, capture market share, and maximize profits. Businesses should also be flexible in their pricing strategy and adjust it as necessary to adapt to changing market conditions. Price skimming involves setting a high price initially as the product is introduced to the market to maximize revenues. Due to the high price, the company makes fewer sales at a higher profit margin. Eventually, as new product variations and models are introduced, the company will decrease the original product's price. Penetration pricing involves setting a low initial price to attract many buyers and increase market share. As prices are low, profit margins may also be lower, but due to the high number of sales, the company's costs will fall, allowing it to decrease its prices even further. Product line pricing involves determining the price steps to be set between different products in a product line. These price steps should be determined based on cost and value differences. Optional product pricing involves setting prices for optional or additional products that come with the original product, also known as add-ons and accessories. Examples include specific types of rims when purchasing a car. Captive product pricing is similar to optional product pricing, except the products are accompanied by another product. For example, ink cartridges for a printer or filters for a water filtering jug. Byproduct pricing, a price for the byproducts derived from the production of the main product. This can help the company recover costs and even make extra profits. For example, farmers can turn their vegetable resin into biodegradable plastic. Product bundle pricing involves combining various products into a product bundle and setting the bundle price lower than what the price would be for buying each product individually. Price adjustment strategies. Companies often have to adjust their pricing strategies with situational and environmental changes. However, this is not a simple task as there are 7 different types of price adjustment strategies. Discount/allowance pricing, including cash discounts, for example 5% discount if the bill is paid within the first 10 days, or trade allowances, for example a discount if you return your old machine when buying a new one. Promotional pricing, adding a discount to a product to increase sales volume, for example a 20% discount limited time offer. Segmented pricing, charging different prices for different geographical, product, or customer segments. Geographical pricing, setting different prices for customers in different countries or cities. Psychological pricing, involves considering the psychology behind pricing. Customers may be willing to pay a higher price for a product perceived as good quality. Dynamic pricing, constantly monitoring and adjusting prices to match customer demand and needs. International pricing, setting prices in different countries based on market factors such as economic conditions, political conditions, legislation, etc. Cost-plus pricing, this strategy involves adding a markup or profit margin to the production cost of a product or service. Value-based pricing, this strategy involves setting prices based on the perceived value that consumers place on a product or service, rather than on its production cost. Penetration pricing, this strategy involves setting low prices initially to gain market share and increase brand awareness. Skimming pricing, this strategy involves setting high prices initially for a new or innovative product, with the aim of capturing early adopters willing to pay a premium. Dynamic pricing, this strategy involves adjusting prices in real time based on changes in consumer demand, supply, and other market factors. Ultimately, the optimal pricing strategy will depend on factors such as the nature of the product or service, the target market, and the competitive landscape. A business should conduct careful market research and analysis to determine the most effective pricing strategy for its particular situation. Streaming services. Have you noticed that you pay roughly the same amount for Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney+, Hulu, and other streaming services? That's because these companies have adopted competitive pricing, or at least a form of it, called market-based pricing. Salesforce. When Salesforce first came out, they were the only CRM in the cloud. It wasn't even called the cloud back then. Armed with groundbreaking deployment and a target customer of a large enterprise, Salesforce could charge what they wanted. Later, after they'd grown, they were able to lower prices so small businesses could sign up. This is a classic example of price skimming. Dollar Shave Club. At one time, you couldn't turn on your TV without an ad for Dollar Shave Club telling you how much cheaper they were than razors at the store. Although an aggressive marketing strategy and advertising like that is unusual for the pricing model, they were nevertheless employing economy pricing. It worked out well for them. They were acquired by Unilever in 2016 for a reported $1 billion. Bundle pricing. This strategy involves offering multiple products or services together as a package at a discounted price. Psychological pricing. This strategy involves setting prices based on consumer behavior and perception, such as pricing products at $9.99 instead of $10. Premium pricing. This strategy involves positioning and marketing a product or service as a luxury item, and charging a higher price as a result. Loss leader pricing. This strategy involves setting prices below production cost to attract customers, with the aim of making up the loss through increased sales of other products or services. Freemium pricing. This strategy involves offering a basic version of a product or service for free, with the option to upgrade to a premium version for a fee. Ultimately, selecting the right pricing strategy requires balancing the need to make a profit with the need to attract and retain customers. By carefully analyzing market trends and consumer behavior, businesses can select the pricing strategy that best meets these goals. Dynamic pricing. This strategy involves constantly adjusting prices based on supply and demand, changing market conditions, or other factors in real time. Value-based pricing. This strategy involves setting prices based on the perceived value that the product or service offers to the customer. Penetration pricing. This strategy involves setting prices low initially to attract a large customer base and gain market share, with the intention of increasing prices later on. Skimming pricing. This strategy involves setting high prices for newly launched products or services to maximize profits from early adopters or the niche market, with the intention of gradually lowering prices as competition increases. Pay what you want pricing. This strategy involves allowing customers to pay whatever they want or what they perceive the product or service is worth, either with a suggested amount or without any guidance at all. This pricing strategy is often used in charity or non-profit fundraising, but can also be used in commercial settings. Consumers are primarily looking for the best value, which isn't always the same as the lowest price. Pricing your products and services competitively in the market can put your brand in a better position to win a customer's business. Competitive pricing works especially well when your business offers something the competition doesn't, like exceptional customer service, a generous return policy, or access to exclusive loyalty benefits. A cost-plus pricing strategy focuses solely on the cost of producing your product or service, or your COGS. It's also known as markup pricing, since businesses who use this strategy mark up their products based on how much they'd like to profit. Cost-plus pricing works well when the competition is pricing using the same model. It won't help you attract new customers if your competition is working to acquire customers rather than growing profits. Before executing this strategy, complete a pricing analysis that includes your closest competitors to make sure this strategy will help you meet your goals. Dynamic pricing is also known as surge pricing, demand pricing, or time-based pricing. It's a flexible pricing strategy where prices fluctuate based on market and customer demand. Dynamic pricing can help keep your marketing plans on track. Your team can plan for promotions in advance and configure the pricing algorithm you use to launch the promotion price at the perfect time. You can even A/B test dynamic pricing in real time to maximize your profits. A combination of the words free and premium. Freemium pricing is when companies offer a basic version of their product hoping that users will eventually pay to upgrade or access more features. Unlike cost plus, freemium is a pricing strategy commonly used by SaaS and other software companies. They choose this strategy because free trials and limited memberships offer a peek into a software's full functionality, and also build trust with a potential customer before purchase. Freemium pricing may not make your business a lot of money on the initial acquisition of a customer, but it gives you access to the customer, which is just as valuable. With access to their email inboxes, phone number, and any other contact information you gather in exchange for the free product, you can nurture the customer into a brand loyal advocate with a worthwhile LTV. A high-low pricing strategy is when a company initially sells a product at a high price but lowers that price when the product drops in novelty or relevance. Discounts, clearance sections, and year-end sales are examples of high-low pricing in action. Hence the reason why this strategy may also be called a discount pricing strategy. If you want to keep the foot traffic steady in your stores year-round, a high-low pricing strategy can help. By evaluating the popularity of your products during particular periods throughout the year, you can leverage low pricing to increase sales during traditionally slow months. Hourly pricing, also known as rate-based pricing, is commonly used by consultants, freelancers, contractors, and other individuals or laborers who provide business services. Hourly pricing is essentially trading time for money. Some clients are hesitant to honor this pricing strategy as it can reward labor instead of efficiency. If your business thrives on quick, high-volume projects, hourly pricing can be just the incentive for customers to work with you. By breaking down your prices into hourly chunks, customers can make the decision to work with you based on a low price point rather than finding room in their budget for an expensive project-based commitment. A skimming pricing strategy is when companies charge the highest possible price for a new product and then lower the price over time as the product becomes less and less popular. Skimming is different from high-low pricing in that prices are lowered gradually over time. Skimming pricing strategy can work well if you sell products that have products with varying life cycle lengths. One product may come in and out of popularity quickly, so you have a short time to skim your profits in the beginning stages of the life cycle. On the flip side, a product that has a longer price for more time. You'll be able to maintain your marketing efforts for each product more effectively without constantly adjusting your pricing across every product you sell. Contrasted with skimming pricing, a penetration pricing strategy is when companies enter the market with an extremely low price, effectively drawing attention and revenue away from higher-priced competitors. Penetration pricing isn't sustainable in the long run, however, and is typically applied for a short time. This pricing method works best for brand new businesses looking for customers or for businesses that are breaking into an existing, competitive market. The strategy is all about disruption and temporary loss, and hoping that your initial customers stick around as you eventually raise prices. Penetration pricing has similar implications as freemium pricing. The money won't come in overnight. But with enough value and a great product or service, you could continue to make money and scale your business as you increase prices. One tip for this pricing strategy is to market the value of the products you sell and let price be a secondary point. Also known as prestige pricing and luxury pricing, a premium pricing strategy is when companies price their products high to present the image that their products are high value, luxury, or premium. Prestige pricing focuses on the perceived value of a product rather than the actual value or production cost. Premium pricing is quite dependent upon the perception of your product within the market. There are a few ways to market your product in order to influence a premium perception of it, including using influencers, controlling supply, and driving up demand. A project-based pricing strategy is the opposite of hourly pricing. This approach charges a flat fee per project instead of a direct exchange of money for time. It is also used by consultants, freelancers, contractors, and other individuals or laborers who provide business services. Leading with the benefits a customer will derive from working with your business on a project can make project-based pricing more appealing. Although the cost of the project may be steep, the one-time investment can be worth it. Your clients will know that they'll be able to work with you until the project is completed rather than until their allotted hours are depleted. A value-based pricing strategy is when companies price their products or services based on what the customer is willing to pay. Even if it can charge more for a product, the company decides to set its prices based on customer interest and data. Marketing to your customers should always lead with value, so having a value-based pricing model should help strengthen the demand for your products and services. Just be sure that your audiences are distinct enough in what they're willing to pay for. You don't want to run into trouble by charging more or less based on off-limits criteria. A bundle pricing strategy is when you offer, or bundle, two or more complementary products or services together and sell them for a single price. You may choose to sell your bundled products or services only as part of a bundle, or sell them as both components of bundles and individual products. Marketing bundle deals can help you sell more products than you would otherwise sell individually. It's a smart way to upsell and cross-sell your offerings in a way that is beneficial for the customer and your revenue goals. Marketing a geographically priced product or service is easy thanks to paid social media advertising. Segmenting by zip code, city, or even region can be accomplished at a low cost with accurate results. Even as specific customers travel or permanently move, your pricing model will remain the same, which helps you maintain your marketing costs. Evaluate pricing potential. You want to make a strategy that is optimal for your unique business. To begin, you need to evaluate your pricing potential. This is the approximate product or service pricing your business can potentially achieve in regard to cost, demand, and more. Geographical market specifics, operating costs, inventories, demand fluctuations, competitive advantages and concerns, demographic data. We'll dive deeper into demographic data in the next step. Determine your buyer personas. You have to price your product on the type of buyer persona that's looking for it. When you look at your ideal customer, you'll have to look at their customer lifetime value, willingness to pay, customer pain points. To aid in this process, interview customers and prospects to see what they do and like, and ask for your sales team's feedback on the best leads and their characteristics. 3. Analyze historical data. Take a look at your previous pricing strategies. You can calculate the difference in closed deals, churn data, or sold product on different pricing strategies that your business has worked with before and look at which were the most successful. 4. Strike a balance between value and business goals. When developing your pricing strategy, you want to make sure the price is good to your bottom line and your buyer personas. This compromise will better help your business and customer pool, with the intentions of increasing profitability, improving cash flow, market penetration, expanding market share, increasing lead conversion. 5. Look at competitor pricing. You can't make a pricing strategy without conducting research on your competitors' offerings. You'll have to decide between two main choices when you see the price difference for your same product or service. Beat your competitor's price. If a competitor is charging more for the same offering as your brand, then make the price more affordable. Beat your competitor's value, also known as value-based pricing. You can potentially price your offering higher than your competitors if the value provided to the customer is greater. To see the competition's full product or service offering, conduct a full competitive analysis so you can see their strengths and weaknesses, and make your pricing strategy. Thank you for watching the video and subscribe the channel.